Taping? All right. Hey guys, it's Jim Bounds at Motorhome Rehab Branch, and I know this is not a motorhome, but you know, after 25 years of working on motorhomes, I got to keep my hands busy. And my son introduced me to these things. It's kind of an art bike. It's a motorized bicycle. This is a 100cc two-cycle motor, 1 speed. This one has an electric pedal assist. So what you normally do is you pedal this thing up to 10 miles an hour or so, pop the clutch, and then it starts the motor. Well, I thought that was kind of bourgeois, you know. I mean, you got to pedal like crazy and then pop it. So I have this little 250 watt electric motor, and it's powered by two, hang on, let me go get them. Yeah, take a look at that. That's an electric motor in the back, and it's powered by two 12-volt Harbor Freight screw gun batteries. I like to do a project where I do whatever I can do with what I have, and then stuff I don't have, go the cheapest way I can do it. Try that sometime. So anyway, here's a 2-powered, bi-powered bicycle. Goes 20 miles an hour. Looks like it goes about 5 miles an hour sitting there, doesn't it? But anyway, this I'm spending a little bit of my energy and time doing this. But let's get on to the business. For you guys that are on YouTube, come in here and take a shot of this. This QR code takes you directly to the Patreon site where this video will be and pictures and things will be. You guys that are already on the site already know about that. But anyway, you YouTubers, come on over to Patreon and take a look. All right, what we're going to talk about today, as the title said, we're going to talk about the bedroom refinish. Now, in the last video, you saw me take down the rear cap and the walls, and we took out the blanket locker here and the overhead cabinet. All right, so what we're going to do right now, we're going to break these down and see what we have. All right, so the first thing we're going to take out, we're going to need the smaller tip. Yeah. Our screw gun's great. Used to have a real small one, but battery died. First thing we're going to take out that you'll have in the original Coach this little booger. No, it doesn't want to give up. There we go. This covers the wiring or the back of the bullet light. So we're going to take that off. Next thing is the bullet light itself, which these are pretty cool. You can buy new ones that'll match and all that, and it'll have a toggle switch instead of this. But these were pretty nice lights. We're gonna take that off. Got 2 Phillips screws there. Yeah, but you can see here where the problems we're gonna start running into here. This is the original cabinet. We talked about that before. And it was painted white. Now the problem, they painted right over the original material, and the ply has come loose. So that's going to be this piece. We're going to have to make a new one. All right, the next thing we're going to do is this end piece here. Now there's one of these at the door, which actually kind of makes sense, because at the door it keeps you from whacking your head. It's true. But back here on the back of the cabinet, I don't know that it's gonna make much difference. Besides, where this is right here, if you leave this off, you can run a cross cabinet across the back, above the back window, and attach it right to the back of this thing right here. So here is the padded end panel. Again, you can leave this off or not. This is going to the back of the coach. And isn't this cute? It's got a little clothesline. I don't know, we're going to use that. Take it outside, you know. All right, so now we're down to what I would call the root and mean of the cabin. Now, we already know that the laminate on the bottom is coming out. We'll have to use that as a pattern. And the back, ooh, back is pretty rotten too. These are the screw holes that go into the side of the coach, so that's got to be a strong piece. It's broken. The two screws that go up are right here. This piece looks pretty solid, but with the bottom and the back coming apart, yeah, see guys, this is going to be, if I'm going to use this cabinet, I'm going to use it as a pattern, and I'll cut these out and redo them. But to be honest with you, think about this a minute. That cabinet, it worked, but there are a lot of other really cool ideas for overhead cabinets. And in the back of our coach, one side is going to have video. It's where we're going to hang the iPad, have stereo back there. The other side is where your head's going to be, where above the blanket locker. Now above that is where this thing was. There's a lot of other things you can do with that. I'm going to leave that to your imagination and see what we're going to come up with. But I'm not going to go through all the trouble of making all of these pieces. Put back in there just what was there. There's too many other ideas. So follow along, stay tuned, as they say. I'm going to do something with that. Okay, so now we're going to look at this thing. This is called the blanket locker. And on the passenger side, here's your bedroom window, and this is a little locker you can put stuff in. All right, pretty convenient. Also, it frames the bed out. The bed is a 76 by 54 inch double. Now, if you want to put a long double, which I think was 81 or something, you can leave this out and just finish the wall, and you'll get a long double in there. But a short double, still, I'm 6 feet, and it works out. If you're 6'5" or something, you may want to think about a long double and leave this out. All right, so let's investigate what we've got here. Now, one of the things on this original cabinet, they didn't put any kind of handle or anything because they let it stick out beyond the thing here, and you just lift up. But to be honest with you, with the mattress on here, and you're trying to stuff a sheet down there, you guys that have these, you know what I'm saying. You're trying to stuff the sheet, this thing right here, that right there gets in the way, all right? So if we're going to use this as a pattern, that's all well and good. The pattern's going to be the height, the depth, and this curve in the back, like that. But it doesn't have to use this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make an L component, and I'm going to cut out a compartment to put stuff in. Okay, over here, this is the speaker in the back is here, and this comes down. Over here, they had a 110 outlet. Well, I'm going to put that back, but also I'm going to have a 12-volt outlet and a couple of USB plugs, and I'm going to have them in a recessed compartment that if you don't want any of that stuff, you can put. You're already going to have the pillow on top of this. So if that's out of the way, then you don't have to worry about it. If you want to use it, we're going to pull this up, and we'll have all the utilities and stuff in here, a little larger compartment. I'm going to build this with 3/4 inch plywood. And you say, why? Well, this has got some half and different things. Well, the 3/4 inch, it's easier to screw and glue together or staple, whatever you're going to do. And it's structural. you can put screws in it. You can put a 3/4 inch screw in it, it'll stay. Remember on one of the other videos we were talking about the GIMP, the 1/2 inch GIMP? Well, here's a piece of the GIMP. This is all the cabinets in the 73 and 74 were made a 1/2 inch short. So they weren't sure if the cabinet would squeak on the sides or on the main bulkhead. So in a 73 and 74, everything has a GIMP. So you want to get that GIMP number, 1/2 inch, in your measurements. See, they did it down here. You see how it comes right to here? So this piece is right to the wall, right to here. But the top, they put this flexible GIMP in here. So know about that. It's, as far as the finish on this thing goes, it's pretty much impossible to try to match this. Now I could try to maybe save this or something, but what we're gonna do on this is, I'm gonna probably cover this with a cloth or a vinyl to make it easier to stuff the sheets in. I'm gonna get rid of this lip. So I think I'm gonna cover it with just a vinyl wrap, because I don't want to paint it, and it's going to have a 90-degree here. I don't want a piece of trim here. I want the material or whatever I'm using to go right over that 90-degree. I don't want a piece of trim here. So we're going to build this with a 3/4 inch. Under here, right through here, is the chase where the water pipes and the electrical and all that stuff goes. So be sure that when you do your pattern, you make way for that. And this height comes right to the bottom of the window. So this does make a good basic pattern for what you're going to do. But just like the overhead here, this wood is peeling off. It's not in good shape at all. So it looked pretty good when it was in there and we had all our stuff over it and everything, but when you get it out, and it's 50 years old. So that's what we're going to do here. Probably not going to do this. I'm going to build a false floor. If you look at these cabinets, it has a 1/2 inch right here. You could put a board across the base in here, and for that matter back here. Back here actually went to the original wall of the coach. You put a false floor, then you can run your wires and all through it. You won't have to use this thing. We're probably going to do that. Now, if you have a 75 and on GM floor plan or a Royale, it has a false floor in it, and all the wires are running there. But a 73 and 74 use these. Okay. So we're taking our time to do this bedroom, but our plan is to get it done by March. Okay, that's our theory. We're going to hit the road in March. One other thing I want to tell you about, this is kind of a public service. Let me get to the spot. There we go. Okay. All of you might know or may not, Cinebar Engineering is a GMC specialty place up in Sandusky, Michigan. And here recently, I need to tell you about some things that have been happening with Cinebar. The owner of Cinebar, Wes Coughlin, has passed away 3 or 4 months ago. So Cinebar right now is kind of in flux in what's going to happen to the estate. We don't know, and things like that. Now Cinebar they bought the original NOS inventory, the new old stock inventory, directly from GM, because when these things went out of production, GM didn't want anything to do with them. They wanted out. So they gave Cinebar the rights to the GMC Motorhome name and sold them the NOS inventory. And they've been sitting on things like drums. If you need drums, you may want to get with them here pretty soon. Original airbags, fuel inlet hoses. They have a selection of some things that other dealers, it's not worth making. I mean, It's not worth making 5,000 oil fuel, 500 oil fuel hoses or anything like that. So Cinebar is the source for that. And if you have a question as to if you need a part or where to get it or whatever, that's what I do. Give me a call, I'll tell you where to get it. I don't sell fish anymore, but I'll tell you how to find the fish, all right? So here's the thing. The phone number on Cinebar used to be, get your pen out, used to be 1-800-720-2227, okay? It looks like now you want to dial 810-648-2444. Let me repeat that. 810-648-2444. Okay, technical support, you can go to the GMC Motorhome people.com. There's a bunch of stuff there that you can look at. You can also call Cinebar directly at, phone number is 231-564-1122. Let me repeat it. 231-564-1122. Oh, and let me repeat it again. Their website is the GMC Motorhome people.com. So there's some things there you may want. Don't really know what's going to happen with Cinebar. They've been there since these things were new, and there are some parts we still use from them. We don't know what's going to happen though. If you want an original airbag, or you're looking at airbags, I would recommend, well, a quad bag system. But if you want to go with something a little less expensive and you're just not quite there, I would get an original airbag, and Cinebar has reproduced those. So give them a call if you want that. Brake drums, they still have brake drums. All right, so real recap here. These two cabinets we're going to next build. Show you how I'm going to modify these things. And then we're going to go into the water tank, water system, floor inside where our storage is going to be, and the base. All right, look, thanks for your time. I hope you've learned something here. This is taking some time. This isn't a thing you just whack out. If you think about it, of interior, exterior, and mechanical, three categories in working on your motorhome, the least expensive parts are going to be the mechanical. The most expensive on labor and parts will be your interior. You'd polish that knob for 2 weeks before your wife's happy. Interior is a big deal. It's fit and finish. So you don't want to get in a hurry or make something cheap or something like that. Make something that you really like. It fits you. You don't have to use the original cabinets. Matter of fact, at 50 years old, you got any 50-year-old furniture in your house? Well, we do. We have a 100-year-old house. So that'd be new furniture, right? But new stuff may not be the same as the old stuff. It just depends on where you're going with your Coach. If you're going after that purist look, you know, there are some places to get that plaid upholstery. But I think the most value is to making it useful, making it convenient for today, what you're used to today, and upgrading it. But either way is fun. All right, guys. Again, thanks a lot for your time. If you're interested in this, it makes any sense, go to Patreon and become a ranch hand. If you're on YouTube, hit like and subscribe and tell your friends. That's how we grow. All right? Look, we'll see you next time.